I'm the icon, and well, who are you, man?
I'm the boss. You can just call me the boss.
Yeah, you're the boss. Okay, I'm the icon. That's the boss. So like Naruto, we love the show. It's kind of over right now, for now at least, because they're gonna do like a second series with starring Naruto's son, Bolt Uzumaki. But for right now, like the top five anime fights in Naruto, and we're making this video like we haven't seen the anime fights that like the last fight between Naruto and Sasuke. We haven't seen that that last fight. So that doesn't really qualify right now. I mean, we could do another list later, like with an updated list, including that fight if it is deemed worthy of the list, but as for right now it is not. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to we both have our top five list, all right? It's not just one list. I have my top five list, and Shoddy Mister I am the boss, whatever his name is over there,
Don't call me
he has his
shoddy.
top five. What?
Don't call me shoddy. I'm the boss from today
I'm the boss
forward.
over there. Has his
Okay.
top five. So I'll share my top five, and he share his top five. Top
I thought
four,
we were
his
gonna
top
go
four.
back and
Pretty
forth.
much like that. It doesn't matter. Just something like that. All right.
Alright.
So
Talk
yeah,
about the
we're gonna
criteria
start
for the
with
fight.
you actually. What is number five? Your
Hold up.
favorite anime fight in Naruto? Number
Before
five.
we get to the list, they have to understand the criteria for the list. Like when we're looking at fights, we're looking at how awesome the fight was, how important the fight felt, and how what the animation looked like. So
Well,
like
that kind
it
of
looked cool.
disqualifies one fight if you're going for the animation. Kind of
Well, yeah,
disqualify one fight. I think you already know what fight I'm
animation
talking about.
animation is really important.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean, animation is important, yes, but I mean, if the story is like really awesome, like it's like really emotional, like it really gets to you, and
we're
the
talking
action is all
about
right,
we're
that's
talking
good.
about top five fights, not top five moments. All right, big difference.
All right, top
Big
five
difference.
fights. What's your number five?
My number five is Shikamaru and Company versus Hayden and Kakuzu. That goes on my fifth spot.
Right? Hmm, that's a
Uh,
really good one. Yeah. But why number five? Hidden and Kakuzu. Why is
uh,
this number five?
the one thing I hated about Shippuden was that everybody, like all the characters we fall in love with in the first part of Naruto,
Yeah.
they pretty much died off.
Mm-hmm.
Rock Lee, he got fucked over. Neji got fucked over.
My favorite
All the favorite
character.
characters.
My favorite
Yeah.
character, Rock Lee. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I see
So
what you're doing there.
anyway, it was really awesome just to see at least Shikamaru just have this epic like moment and like just avenging his master's death in this
Yeah,
awesome
Asuma.
fight. He
Right?
he uses all his wits in this fight. He comes up with the best strategies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fucking awesome fight.
Yeah. And I also gotta
It's
add,
very important in the story.
yeah, because that fight though, like you don't just mean Shikamaru versus Hidan and Kakuzu. I think you mean Shikamaru, Kakashi, Choji.
Yeah,
You know,
I said Shikamaru and company.
Yeah, but like you say
Shikamaru and
company,
company
you're gonna,
at the
you're gonna
beginning.
call Kakashi company, or you're gonna call Kakashi, you're gonna call the number
No,
one copy ninja like a fucking company, man? Kakashi, you're talking about Kakashi, man. The guy
you
at least
know what
deserves to get his own name mentioned. You're gonna call it
I mean? Whatever.
and
All
company?
right.
Man,
Shikamaru, Kakashi, and company.
yeah, well that's better. Cause when you had Kakashi like running up that tree, versus Hidan, that was some awesome action sequences right there. That was some good
Yes.
shit.
And
Like
the
one time we
animation
thought Kakashi was dead, but
looked really cool.
huh? Yeah, that was some really good stuff. So that's actually a really good number five. Uh, but is that it though? That's why you have it because like Shikamaru, the people, they got their time to shine. That's basically why
Hmm.
it's your number five.
Yeah, that. Hmm.
All right, so the number five on my list is I was in like eighth grade when this one came out, and that was Naruto
The old
versus
one, man.
Pain. Now you said
What?
Naruto versus Pain, man. I know you
That
said
didn't come out when you were in eighth grade.
I was in eighth grade. Actually, no, that
Hmm.
was the manga. The manga came out when I was in eighth grade, but not the anime. I know what you're saying there.
Still, damn, that was like fucking 5 years ago.
It was a long time ago, wasn't it? But
Whatever.
now
Go on.
Naruto versus Pain though. Like I remember just like oh my I couldn't wait to see this fight, like the anime fight because I remember I was in
Mhm.
eighth grade. I'm like holy shit, I couldn't just you know when Naruto was training with the Toad Sage, whatever, and they're like, "Oh, Naruto, you have to die before you're able to learn like Sage Jutsu and shit like that." So I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then Naruto, he got the thing on his eyes, and you know he's lifting up these giant statues, and just like, "Oh my God, this is gonna be freaking awesome!" Like back then, I'm thinking like nobody's gonna be able to touch Naruto, nobody, because you know that's when he learned like natural energy and shit. Like he's able to punch it,
Hmm.
and he doesn't have to touch it, and then you know that's it's like sent flying out of nowhere. So when he and Pain just, you know, finally faced off, you had that Grandma Toad and the Papa Toad on his shoulders and shit, you know, doing their sound
Yeah.
attacks. But when he's doing like the giant Odama Rasengan, like that looks so awesome back then. I was so freaking happy to see that fight. Just Naruto going after the guy who killed his master. Like that was a really emotional time in Naruto's life. Like he's crying because Jiraiya was the closest thing he had to a father, not including Iruka Sensei? Yeah, not including Iruka Sensei. You know, Jiraiya was the closest thing to, you know, his father. So the animation, I know you said animation was one of your criteria, but the animation in that fight was horrible. I mean, that fight had the worst animation in the entire fucking Naruto series, so that's obvious.
Yeah.
But just
I
the
think I
story
think for
though.
that fight, they try to do too much. I think that was the
Yeah.
problem there.
They try to
It's
make it like
because
big and grand and shit.
they knew that fight was important, so they was like, all right, we really gotta make this look real good. But they went too
Right.
far with the
Yeah.
animation, and then it just looked crappy.
I don't know. I'm guessing they were rushed or something. Like they had to have this episode out like at a certain time, and they didn't have enough time to polish it or whatever it was. But I don't know. I just loved it, man. Naruto taking on all the six paths of pain. That was awesome. You know, the Toad swallowed up that female pain, and then out of nowhere you see Naruto's glowing eyes. He comes out with the Adama Rasengan,
Hmm.
Gamabunta versus all those other summoning creatures. Like that fight was awesome. I remember it. But it's number five on my list. Number five. Number four.
Wait, let me add something to your thing. The really
Okay.
good thing about that fight was that was the moment where like I really grew respect for Naruto. You
How
know what
so?
I'm saying?
Like respect? Like what do you mean?
Yeah, because before then, Naruto's, how would you say, arsenal
Hmm.
was like really limited.
Yeah, Shadow
Like,
Clone Jutsu.
what, yeah, and Rasengan, whenever he was getting his ass beat, he would have to focus on, getting help from the fox. But
Hmm.
when he learned Sage Mode, like
Yeah. He became more.
him,
Yeah,
that
he was
ascended him
more
to a
independent
Kage
in a way.
level power. That was his
Yeah.
full power, and because of that, I grew a lot of respect for him. When nobody
Yeah.
else in the village could fight Pain,
Hmm.
Kakashi lost to just fighting to two of them,
Oh, man,
and then Naruto comes along and beats all of them.
this is
So
an
that
interesting. It's interesting that you said nobody else could fight Pain, but I hated the way Kishimoto
nobody else in
handled
the
that
Leaf
fight.
Village.
Yes, but I think other people could have at least go up against him. Have Neji go up against him. Have Rock
Yeah,
Lee
yeah, yeah, that's
open
what I'm
the
saying.
fourth gate or something like that. You
Like
know?
even not saying like they beat them, but at least show them, going toe to toe with him,
Yeah.
shit like that.
That would have been cool, just to see it, but we didn't really get that. So that was the only disappointment that it was only Naruto versus Pain. I mean, it was only Naruto versus Pain. I would have loved to see Neji or a Rock Lee, but still, though, the fight was still epic. That's when you finally saw Naruto's Sage technique, which was pretty awesome. Him coming back, saving the
Mhm.
Leaf Village, becoming the hero of the Leaf. Everybody, like 1,000 people, have him up, like, yeah, he's our hero. Like, and that's the moment where the people finally acknowledged Naruto. Like, that's when his dream, like, I guess part of his dream kind of, came like true
Yeah.
because the people of the village like acknowledged him. Like he wasn't just a demon; he was the savior of the village. So that's why it's number five for me. But on to number four.
All right.
Do you want me to go first, or you want to take this one first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
My number four is Orochimaru versus the third Hokage.
I wrote. Oh yes, I remember that one.
Yes,
Man,
that
that
fight is
one.
awesome. The reason I have that on my list because that is the very first fight in the whole series where we
Mm,
see a Kage level fight.
mm,
The very first Kage level fight in the whole
yeah, a
series.
long, drawn out Kage level fight. You're right.
That joint was like 30 episodes, but it was also in conjunction
Yeah,
with
it felt like
Naruto
that, wasn't it? Didn't it?
with Naruto versus Gaara though. But still, that
Yeah.
I loved every second of that fight, and just to see the third Hokage lose, like
Hmm.
nobody saw that coming. I remember when
Yeah.
we were kids, everybody was fucking
Hmm.
shocked.
Right.
Yeah,
I think I had like a little tear in my eye right there. I'm like, holy shit, like he's dead. Like, damn, I never thought this would happen. I remember that, man.
Because I remember up to that point, everybody knew Orochimaru was strong as shit, but like we still didn't know what is it that he could do. And then just to
Hmm.
see all the shit he pulled out during that fight,
Hmm.
you know,
Right?
his sword,
Yeah.
his gay ass
I
tongue
mean, yeah.
move.
I mean, didn't he pull this sword out of his throat or something? I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that was gross. And his fucking summoning the first and the second, like when he summoned the first and the second, I know everybody's mouth dropped. That was
Right?
fucking crazy.
Hmm.
And I remember when my first Naruto video game, Orochimaru had that move, but the episode hadn't come out yet. So
Hmm.
me and my cousin thought those were the other two Sanin
Hmm.
first. But yeah, that
I'm
fight.
sorry I was a little bit distracted what you were saying because like it's still WWE thing going on. But you said you thought that was the other two summoning. You said when the first those two guys summoning, you thought it were
Yeah,
two other summons. Huh.
yeah, but then to see it, it was the first and second Kage. I
Yeah.
know everybody's mouth just dropped.
Yeah, because I'm like, holy shit. I remember when I saw that, I'm like, holy shit. Like, a Hashirama, yo, he looks so badass, but Tobirama was also freaking badass. I mean, the dude, known as the guy that could summon water without water. I mean, that was pretty sick. That was pretty cool. Uh, I guess I'm like adding to what you're like going into, but like even when like they summon like the whole pool of water, and Tobirama just like rushing through the pool of water, and it's
Oh yeah.
like it turned into like a more like an elemental battle in a way, because I think
Hmm.
the Ashram is something that forest, Tobirama is using the water as like basically like as a freaking sword. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, the third Hokage has the fire going, also the mud style, the earth style shit. So that was a really grand fight. Like I
Yeah.
totally understand why that one is on your number four list. But is there anything else you wanted to add to that fight? Why it is your
Uh,
number four?
well, aside from being fucking awesome, I
Mm-hmm.
think it was also very what's the word I'm looking for? It's also
Aside from
very important to the story
mm-hmm.
of the series because after that fight,
Yeah.
we see how strong Orochimaru is, and we know how much he can fuck shit up.
Right.
Yeah, and that's also the setting point because you know after the third Hokage dies, we have to get a new one, and that's where
Mm-hmm.
Tsunade comes in.
Right.
So
So
yeah.
that's the battle that decided, who would, take over the battle. I mean, take over the title of Hokage in the village hidden in the leaf. So, all right, cool. All right, so my number four is Team 7 versus Zabuza. And this is basically like the
Okay.
first original fight in Naruto. Now, I said
Hmm.
Team 7 versus Zabuza. This is basically like the entire first arc. I guess the entire Zabuza arc, because it's kind of hard
Hmm.
to pick one fight from that arc. But this is the first. This is the arc that showed you the bonding between Naruto and Sasuke. Is this? Yeah, more like the bonding between Naruto and Sasuke, how they really became brothers. Because when Naruto and Sasuke was facing Haku, and Haku used the crystal ice mirrors, and fuck. He is it a oh shit. It's a he or she. Fuck, she.
It's a he,
Whichever the
dude.
fuck it was. It
I
was
don't know
he.
why they made him a
Yeah,
he.
he. Okay, he. Jesus. Yeah, but what I'm saying, when he was using the crystallized mirrors and he was about to kill Naruto, Sasuke jumped in, and it was that moment that Naruto truly considered Sasuke as a brother, and it was that moment, for saving his life, that Naruto is, obsessed with finding Sasuke. It's like, Sasuke, you saved my life back then. We have a bond. You saved my life, so it's kind of like on me to bring you back to the, I don't know, to the light. I don't know, some shit like that. But just Zabuza though, Zabuza was such a badass in that arc. He was such a freaking badass, being called the Demon of the Mist. I remember his
Hmm.
death scene where he's just like, I don't remember the name of the merchant guy, but I remember the death scene though where I think he had like a knife or some, I think it
In
was like
his
a kunai
mouth,
in his mouth.
both his arms were broken, so he had to
Yeah,
use his mouth.
he had to use his mouth, and he just like going and just like slashing, like just killing these dudes, like just it was such a fucking awesome scene like to see. So I guess this is my number four because this is the really the fight that got us like into Naruto. Like this is some cool shit. This is the fight that we
Mhm.
first saw the I guess the chakra of the demon fox. Like this is the fight that was like holy shit. I can't wait to see what else Naruto can pull out. Like what this demon fox is about. What else this Naruto kid can do. Sasuke awakened the Rinnegan also in that arc. It was the first time he awakened the
Sharingan,
Rinnegan. Oh fuck,
Sharingan.
Sharingan. I'm sorry, Sharingan. And just, Kakashi going toe to toe copying Zabuza move. I think Zabuza did, the water style, water dragon jutsu, and Kakashi's like copying it, and he's like, holy shit, like he just did the same technique I did. And it's like, no, he's not. He didn't really do the same technique. He's just copying you. So yeah, that fight was pretty awesome, really cool. That's my
Let me
number
add
four.
something to that fight. Uh, to me, I like the first part of the fight first. It was mostly Kakashi versus Zabuza.
Right.
And the thing I really liked about that fight, it really set the tone for like just the rest of the series. It set the tone as to how complicated
Mhm.
Naruto fights can get. Because
Mhm.
they was going toe to toe. What remember, this is our first fight. We don't know shit about jutsus,
Mhm.
different KK Genkais, and like they're
Right.
just throwing a bunch of moves out there. And like this is the first time we just it just sets the tone as to how complicated these fights can be
Mhm.
for like just the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And I really liked it, but I think for as the first fight they really pulled it off really
True.
well.
Yeah, because even when Haku is using crystallized mirrors, I'm like, holy shit, this technique is like so freaking cool. Like, how is she really doing that? Like, will Naruto be able to do something like that? Will Sasuke be able to do something like that? And yes, when they're talking about Kekkei Genkai, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, but yeah, I guess it was a really, really cool fight. Quite memorable because Zabuza too was just such a badass villain. But yeah, number four for me. And number three?
Uh, Moving on to number three. For number three, I have Killer Bee versus Sasuke as
Mm,
my number three.
yes.
This
Nice,
fight
nice.
was such a shocker to me
How
because
shocker? Like, how was it a shocker? Like
well,
Sasuke got
I'll
his
explain
ass
for a
kicked.
second. We're seeing Sasuke for his first time use his new Sharingan powers because this is right after he gets his Mangekyou or Sharingan after he
Mangekyo.
Itachi.
Why you call him
Yep.
Mangiku? This is
Whatever.
Mangekyo, man.
Shut up. Just shut up.
It's-
The point is, we're going into this fight expecting Sasuke to kick some ass with his new powers. And he does do some awesome shit with his new power. But the thing is, Killer Bee is such a huge unknown, and to see the power that he
Mhm.
just shows off in this fight was jaw
Yeah.
dropping. The way he just handled not just Sasuke, but Sasuke and his whole group, it
Yeah.
was fucking ridiculous. And I really love the animation for this fight too. It was
Mhm.
fucking awesome. This is one of those fights where it's just really awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Also, the
I
other thing
mean,
I like about that fight was sort of the foreshadow they did because I know
foreshadow.
because
What
when
foreshadow?
the way they showed Killer Bee control his
Oh, okay.
details, power so much. I don't know about everybody else, but it got me thinking, yo, what if Naruto
Yeah. You're
controls
not the well. You're not
Nine
the only
Tails like
one.
this guy?
Mhm.
That's what I mean by foreshadow. And like he
Mhm.
went into the complete eight tail beast form and completely
Yeah.
controlled it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. It's like that. That was pretty cool.
I
That
mean,
was a really cool moment.
Sasuke had to use every power in his arsenal just to fucking survive.
Mhm.
And even then, it was just because Killer Bee wanted to leave.
Yeah, pretty much right. He wanted to
I
start his
mean,
rap career.
fucking Team Hawk, which they were called at that point,
Was
got
it
their
take?
ass
Is it Hawk or Taka or Taka? Taka.
whatever. I'm saying it in
Yeah.
English. Team
I don't know
Hawk
what it
was
is. I don't know what Taka. That is the way it was in English. But yeah, Team Hawk. Yeah.
like at that point. I'm thinking, yo, this nobody could get stronger than Sasuke at this point. He just beat Itachi. Well, Itachi
Hmm.
kind of let him, but still.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Like after his fight with Itachi, we're so impressed with Sasuke. Like, damn, yo, how's Naruto ever gonna beat this guy? Sasuke's
Yeah.
a fucking beast. And then Killer Bee just comes out of nowhere and just rapes him and his
Hmm.
squad. And then we're like, just like, damn,
Yeah.
it was crazy like that fight.
I mean, I don't even consider that. I don't consider that a fight. I consider that like a fucking beatdown. That wasn't a fight, man. Sasuke and his team got demolished, man, by Killer Bee. That wasn't a fight. Like a fight is when two people are at least kind of equal. They weren't nowhere near equal. Killer Bee destroyed that dude. he raped that dude, and you know Sasuke's already gay. That means like fucking I don't know.
What
But
the
you
fuck?
get what I'm trying to say, like shit, man. But that
Yeah.
I totally see though, like why that is on your list. Even when Killer Bee did the was that like a seven sword style when he just threw up the swords
hmm
and he has like
Yeah.
one in every joint basically. Would you say every
Oh
joint?
yeah, I
Every
forgot to
joint.
mention that. Even though he has
Yeah.
complete control over his 8 beasts, he's really fucking powerful just on his own as well.
Mhm. Yeah, he
And
definitely
that's
has his
important to remember.
techniques. Yeah, it's true. Definitely has his techniques. Uh, and something else you said about like foreshadowing, like Killer Bee and his tail beast was one. So when Sasuke casted the Genjutsu on, Killer Bee, his tail beast was able to touch him and wake him up, kind of, get him out of the Genjutsu, because once someone
hmm
else touches you, you're able to break the seal. So that kind of helped me with the foreshadowing too, like what if Naruto's able to do something like that? So awesome fight by Killer Bee versus Sasuke. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, that's about it. What's your number three?
I notice I'm not showing up now. Like whenever we talk, I don't really show up, but that's fine. My number three is Sasuke versus Deidara. Sasuke versus Deidara. I love this fight. I really love this fight. And this, I mean, we saw Deidara earlier on in the show, versus Kakashi. Kakashi took one of his arm off with his Mangekyo Sharingan, the dimension portal thing. He took one of his arms off, and I'm like, holy
Yeah.
shit, Deidara lost one of his arms. Like, holy shit. But it was like he
At
was
that
such a
point, it
cha-
was a, at that point, yo, at that point, it was his
Mm,
second arm. Because remember, before that, Gara took
it was a
his
second.
other arm.
Oh yeah, Gary took the other one, right? So it's like, holy shit, this dude has no arms now. But I don't even remember why I'm bringing up the arm thing. But when he was facing Kakashi and stuff like that, he was so annoying to them. And just even Gara, like he destroyed Gara, like he's the Kazekage. He destroyed Gara with ease. I would say that was it kind of ease? Was it? Would you say ease?
No,
I mean,
I
he
want
outsmarted Gara. I think he outsmarted Gara and shit.
he outsmarted him, but it's not like Gara just took a beating. Gara went toe to toe with him.
I can't even remember because if I remember this fight well with Gara, I think Gara was trying to protect the village. I think
Yeah,
he was trying to
and
protect
he
the
used that
village.
to his advantage.
Yeah,
He
and that's
dropped
how
a
he was
big
able
ass
to get
bomb
the
on the village.
yeah, and he had to protect it. So, all right. But I'm going back to the Gara thing. But the point is, though, he defeated Gara, and he almost defeated Kakashi. Almost kind of defeated Kakashi. My memory's all over the place with these fights. So if I'm not 100% accurate, don't fucking. So just not really seeing this guy's full potential, and we finally got to see his full potential versus Sasuke. Now Sasuke came off as this I don't know, this stupid brat that knows everything, outsmarting Deidara and everything. Like I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, seriously, what the hell? Uh but I don't know, just Deidara, like what he's able to do, like having the C4s as his weapon, just blowing shit up out of nowhere. Man, my thoughts are just like all over the place with this fight. But the thing is though, I like the fight. Sasuke, did his curse seal. That's when we like first saw Sasuke's his two wings came out and stuff. I believe that was the
Oh
first.
yeah.
No, I don't think that was the first time. I think the first time was versus Orochimaru when he killed Orochimaru. Fuck. Dude, as I said, my memories are not 100% intact with this fight, but I fucking love that Deodara versus Sasuke. Sasuke made Deodara look like his bitch. I don't know, but I love Deodara, but Sasuke made him look like his bitch. Like everything Deodara had, Sasuke was like basically one move, one step ahead of him, and Deodara had to, detonate himself basically. He killed himself. And Sasuke doesn't really get a lot of credit for this fight, but he definitely should get a lot of credit for this fight. And I guess you could also say that the reason why Deodara won was because Toby didn't really want to kill Sasuke too, because Deodara was like planting the
Yeah.
bombs. I don't know, Toby probably planted the bombs in the wrong place because he really didn't want to kill Sasuke because Sasuke is part of his plan. So.
Hey, another thing about that fight was that's the first time we see Sasuke fight in Shippuden. So I thought that was a
Was that
really
the first?
good. Yeah, that was the first time we see him fight in Shippuden. I thought that was a really good way to just introduce the level that he got to in Shippuden. In Shippuden,
Oh,
like
okay.
Naruto at the beginning of Shippuden, he's still kind of weak, but Sasuke, he just comes out and he goes toe to toe with an Akatsuki member by
Hmm.
himself, and that that just sets the stage for him. We're just like, damn, Sasuke is really, really powerful, and we know not to
Yeah,
underestimate
true.
him.
So yeah, uh, Sasuke doesn't get
And
a lot of
that,
credit though, but he should get a lot of credit
yeah,
because
he
that
he
was a pretty
used
awesome fight.
he used a lot of. I don't remember how the fight went exactly, but he used a lot of his wits in that fight. He used like Shikamaru level
Yeah, I'm saying.
strategies in that
Yeah,
fight.
that's what I'm saying. It was like always one step ahead of Deodara. No matter what he did, it was like one step ahead of Deodara. Like that was the last time we saw Deodara and that C4 explosion. It was. I mean, he loves art. He always said his art is an explosion, and he went out in an explosion. I loved it.
Hmm.
So that brings us down to the final two. I mean, yeah, my mind was all over the place on that one, guys. I'm sorry, but I just remember when I saw the fight. It was I don't know, it was a long time ago. I really loved it when I saw it. So we're down to number two. Both are number twos. Now these fights I actually have opinions on, not unlike that one. All right, so number two.
Number two for my number two, I have Sasuke versus Naruto from the first season when they
Ah,
first
this
fought
is on
in
the
the
roof.
beginning.
This is on the rooftop and stuff.
No, not there. At the waterfall place. I forgot the name.
The waterfall.
When we first see Sasuke use his curse mark level 2 and he grows the wings and the long hair. Sasuke gets away. I'm talking about
Okay,
I'm talking
okay.
about first season,
Yeah, yeah,
not
I know.
Shippuden.
The Sasuke retrieval arc. Yeah, yeah, right, right, right.
Yeah, Sasuke retrieval arc. Cause like that whole arc was just leading up to that one. That arc was like fucking 50 episodes, dude. Filled
Hmm.
with good fights along the
Awesomeness,
way. Filled with good
right?
fights. And just to have it like wrapped up perfectly by that fight at the end. It was
Hmm.
like not only was the fight awesome, but it was just like it pulled at the strings, man. It
All
pulled
right.
at the strings the whole time. It was like, damn, you feel so bad for both of them because like you kind of understand where they're both coming from. Sasuke wants to get more power
Stronger. Yeah,
in order to avenge his family.
yeah,
Naruto knows that if he goes down that path, it's gonna be the fucking end for him.
yeah, yeah. The
And
dark
just
side
like,
isn't always the best side in a way. Just like stay in the Leaf Village and let us help you.
and
But
even
Sasuke
and
knew
even
that if he stayed, nothing would change. So he kind of had to do that.
and even though they were both getting during that fight,
It didn't feel
like
like it.
I don't know, it's just fucking awesomeness to the
Hmm.
max during
But
that.
it was pretty awesomeness. I mean, Sasuke was using his talent, pure talent. Naruto was using the fox. I mean, Naruto got his ass kicked. The fox was the one that was fighting Sasuke, not even Naruto. But
Yeah,
still, though,
true.
I liked it. Uh,
Like,
I remember that part where Naruto, the fox. This is when the fox is in control, basically, and it summons like a giant red hand, and it's just going after Sasuke. And Sasuke's
hmm
like so freaking scared, he's backing up. He's like, "What are you?" And some shit like that. You just saw his face. He looked so freaking scared. It was like that was awesome.
hmm
You
Yeah,
also had Sasuke using the the pillow driver. What is it called? Ah,
the Lions Barrage.
basically Lion's Barrage. Yeah, pretty much. Is it Lion's Barrage?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you sure it's I don't think that was a Lion's Barrage. Was it Lion's Barrage?
Yes, dude. Get to the point.
Fuck, man, I lost my thought. But yes, I'm saying just like Sasuke and Naruto, just like together, man. Like that was some I guess some really awesome shit. Them fighting in the water, Naruto summoning like the like I don't know, I think that was like a hundred clones that he summoned, and all of them just holding on to each other, and they formed that giant line, and he's like holding on to Sasuke. He does this giant like swing thing and just
Oh
like
yeah, I
slams
remember
Sasuke
that.
into the rocks, and then Sasuke is fireball jutsu and like burn all the fucking clones. And then you just see the look on Naruto's face, like Sasuke, and then he did that. I think that's when he did the Lion's Barrage. So I guess a lot of emotions was at work in that regular Naruto
hmm
series finale, because I think that was the regular Naruto series finale, the true
In
series
the
finale
manga, in the
for
manga.
the
Obviously, in the anime,
for
they
the
had like a
anime
fucking 100
at that
episodes of
time.
fillers.
Yeah, that's what killed Naruto, the fillers. But he really killed it, man. But yeah, really good shit. On my number two?
Yeah, go ahead.
My number two, which could have easily been number one, but I just think based on the scale of the fight, it isn't really number one. But based on awesomeness, it is number two, if that made any sense at all.
Yeah,
So number two is the greatest fight in Naruto history. This fight happened in the Chunin exam. It was
yes, I know which one's
the
coming.
Green Beast of the Leaf, Rock Lee, versus wait, what is Gara? The Desert Demon? I don't fuck. What the fuck is Gara? The Demon of the Desert, the Green
That
Beast.
wasn't his name. You just call him Gara. What the fuck?
No, no, I mean, what is his nickname?
He didn't have a
He
nickname.
did have
Okay.
a nickname. It's like the Demon of the Desert, the ultimate
Whatever.
weapon. You know,
You
uh,
fucked up your intro. Just get to the
zero
point.
defense and shit. You know. But yeah, Rock Lee versus Gara was the ultimate fucking most badass Naruto fight. This is the fight that really got me into Naruto because the first fights that I saw was Choji versus this dude from the Sand, and then I saw Rock Lee versus Gara, and I'm at the fucking edge of my seat. Like this is some freaking awesome shit. Like I see Rock Lee, this dude, he looks stupid as hell with that fucking suit he had on. Like he looked dumb as hell, right? And then he's standing
Yeah.
on top of the statue, and then like I'm like, holy shit, like this is gonna be crazy. Like, and then they were saying like nobody has ever touched Gara, nobody ever touched Gara. So I'm like, holy shit, how is this dude gonna touch Gara? Because every time he tried to punch Gara, the sand comes at Gara's defense. So I'm like, holy shit, how will he do that? So he Rock Lee jumped on top of the statue. He pulled up his pants, then he dropped all them weights, and then you saw the huge explosion from all that weight. And I'm like, holy shit, you had all that weight on you, like that surprised the
Yeah.
shit out of me. And then he just
That
like
was a jaw dropper.
right? Just like, really? You had that much weight on you? Like, come on, man. So then he jumped down and then he just like zoom, like he's all like circulating Gar, like surrounding him, like so freaking fast. The dust is building up. And I think that's when he went for the fucking, I can't even remember the name of the fucking attacks. But he kicked him in the air, and I think he came back. No, no. He kicked him on the back of his head when he's like, "Holy shit!" Like shit got serious now, man. Shit got serious. Then Rock Lee, he did the primary lotus and shit like that, and then followed by the I don't even remember the fucking names of the attacks, but fuck it, whatever. Primary lotus, hidden lotus, you know the fucking attacks that I'm talking about. There's one, and during that fight also they showed what Rock Lee went through. Like he can't use ninjutsu, genjutsu, and all of that. Only thing he has is taijutsu, and just his training, doing like 1,000 punch, 1,000 squats, 1,000 kicks, and all of that. It just showed you like how much this guy went through just to be considered basically as an equal to Neji in a way, And even during that fight, when he went, when he was releasing the four gates, I think it was up to four gates. Like you can just see the pain on that dude's body, like the veins, like those red ass veins looking like they're about to pop out of his head, just like the pressure of the eight gates do to you. Fuck these names. It was just fucking amazing when he's like kicks him up into the air and then he's all disappearing, like he's moving so fast. Gara, he can't even do nothing. He's helpless because he's moving so fast. Punching Gara's like so helpless. He's like, are you even human? Like what is he? Then he comes down with hidden lotus. He stomps fucking Gara into the ground. Gara's all cracked up. You see his shell and then the sand flowing into his fucking shell. And man, Rock Lee's trying to crawl away because the hidden lotus, the eight gates took a lot of toll on his body, and Gara crushed his leg and shit. But that fight was so fucking emotional. Like I gotta tell you that I had like a couple of tears, just watching Rock Lee's story, just what he had to go through, just to be considered as an equal to Neji. And I like that Rock Lee said, like Neji, this is what I had in stores for you. Like this was all for you, just to show you that I'm not a fucking pushover, that you can't just keep beating me up, whatever you. I don't think Neji really beat him up, but Neji thought he was superior to him because he had the Byakugan. But it's like Rock Lee, he had the eight gates. So I would have loved to see Neji versus Rock. Are you fucking telling me we didn't have Neji versus Rock Lee in this fucking Oh, fuck you, Kishimamoto. Fuck you,
You just realized that right now? What
I
the fuck?
fucking just realized that. You gonna. Oh, fuck, man. Why do all these people have to be so fucking good, man? Yo, do you know the fucking good fights that we could have had if this wasn't so fucking dumb? You can have Rock Lee versus Ten. Maybe Rock Lee goes all insane for a little couple episodes, and you have Ten and Rock Lee going
Uh,
at it. Maybe you
that's
have
a
like a little super.
conversation for another day. Let's just stick to the fight.
That's so fucking dumb. I can't believe we never had that fight.
You
That's so
know,
dis. But again, this fight had so much emotions. The action was fucking amazing. When Rock Lee did the fourth gates, and then he just like dashed towards Gara, the fucking ground exploded. Just how fast this dude was moving. The ground exploded. It was a fantastic. It was amazing. I loved this fight. This is my favorite Naruto fight ever in the entire fucking series. But it's
why
not
didn't you
on.
put it at number one?
But it's my favorite, but it's not number one though. It's not worthy of number one
Whatever.
based on scale, like you know.
I ain't put that fight on my list because I just knew that you were gonna put it. That's why I
But
didn't
that
put it on
can't
my
be a
list.
reason to not put it though.
Yeah, whatever. It would have been
No,
number
I mean
six then.
you could still put it on your list and like I was gonna put this on my list. Like this is my number, whatever.
Whatever.
But
The
since
point
you already
is,
talked about it, it doesn't really matter. Like, come
what
on,
it is.
what would you have put it?
Exams. I don't know. I don't know.
But you have to have it on the list, man.
I probably would have put it at like number three. But anyway, I remember after that fight, I just remember feeling how cheated
Hmm.
Lee was. Because literally, if you would have put Lee against anybody else,
He would have,
he would have won.
yeah,
But he literally got put up against the strongest,
dude, in
getting
the fucking
getting
exile.
there.
Yeah,
And he
right.
lost. They put um, the two strongest ninja there.
Contestants
And
or what contestants,
yeah,
yeah,
and I
pretty
just
much.
felt like I felt really bad for him. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
you feel so much for Lee. He went through all this training,
and he
like
still couldn't
hours
even
upon
win.
hours upon training.
Yeah,
He just barely lost.
yeah.
And then you see how some of the other contestants got in.
Oh, right.
Like that's not fucking
Yeah, like,
fair.
cause he wanted to prove himself. Like, holy shit, like Naruto got in, Neji got in. Like, he wanted to get in too, but he didn't get to, get in. And I said earlier that there was like a time where like I had like a few tears. I remember the scene now why I had the tears. It was when Garo was crushing Rock Lee's leg. Like he was about to
Hmm.
basically kill Rock Lee, and then out of nowhere, a guy came in and saved his student. That was such a really good moment. That is my favorite moment in the Naruto series right there. Like that was my favorite fight, and that was my favorite moment when Guy came in and he said, "I will not let you harm my student." Like he understand, like if he interfered, like Rock Lee would have obviously been disqualified, but he jumped in and says, "I will not let you harm my student because he's precious to me." That moment I will always remember, and that moment is part of why Rock Lee. I mean, that fight is number one, just because it showed like the bond like that a student and a master and a student can have. Like it's a really strong bond. So like a really really great storytelling, great action. What else can I say? It was awesome,
All right. Before we go on to number one, I think we should take this time to just make some honorable mentions. I
right?
think, fights that were really awesome, but they just didn't make the cut.
Right.
Um,
I,
don't
I,
you don't really have to go into much detail for them, just list a couple.
mhm.
For me, one of them is Conan versus Toby. I don't feel like Conan gets enough credit for fucking fighting with that guy as such,
Pretty much,
toe
pretty
to
much.
toe.
Hmm. You pretty much
Another
killed
one,
him. I mean, she pretty
yeah,
much killed him.
it was so fun. I don't remember what
He had to.
loophole
He
was
had
it
to
that he
use.
found.
No, it wasn't a loophole. He had to use Isanami, the eye technique where he dies
Oh
but
yeah, yeah,
comes back up. So,
he literally had to sacrifice one of his eyes just to survive. I don't think Conan.
mm,
And the thing is, the fight was mad short, and like
mhm,
everybody knew Conan was gonna lose, but we never saw it getting like so close. Another
mhm,
honorable mention, Kisame versus Guy. They fought a couple of times, but I just
mhm.
love the fighting between those two. It's always been awesome. It's usually really funny because Guy can never remember can never remember who he is. Another one,
Yeah, I remember that. That was silly. Stupid guy.
Kisame versus Killer B. Now
Hmm.
this one's really important because remember how I said earlier, Killer B
Well,
just
are you saying your number one fight?
no, honorable
Oh,
mention.
honorable mention. Oh, okay.
Because remember
All
how I
right.
said earlier, Killer B just wiped the floor with Sasuke. But then
Mm-hmm.
to see Kisame, somebody we always thought as a lesser Akatsuki member, he didn't really get that much spotlight. He was always in Itachi's shadow. We didn't really think that highly of him. But then he
Right.
comes out of nowhere and beats Killer B the way that he does. Like Kisame is one of my favorite Akatsuki members. Like even though he doesn't get that much publicity, I just love his fighting style.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last honorable mention is Neji versus I forget the guy's name, that spider guy in
Kidomaru.
Kidomaru.
Kidomaru. Yeah.
That was my favorite. That was my second favorite fight in the Sasuke retrieval arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Do you have any?
I guess the one that couple that were really close would have been Naruto versus Neji. You know, Neji using his 8 trigram, 2 palm, 4 palm, 8 palm, 16 palm, 32, 64. Though that attack alone, and also the Neji versus Kidomaru, just Neji and his attacks, like those were some really like pretty awesome attacks. So those were
Yeah.
definitely if I had more spots, one of those fights could have made it on my list. One that was really really close is Kakashi versus Obito, and this is the match that takes place in the old alternate dimension or something like that, because
Yeah.
when they're having the fight, right, the fight is basically the same fight that they had when they were really young, the same fight, same motion. And while I just like how the cinematography with the fight scenes, like they're showing you like them fighting now when they're older, while also flashing back to when they're younger, using the same techniques they're using now when they were younger. So I just love how that fight was put together. Like it was put together like perfectly, just like that is how a fight should be. And they weren't using like jutsu, ultimate jutsus or none of that shit. It's strictly just hand to hand combat. So if I had more spots, that would have been on my list. Another one that would have been on my list is Kakashi, Asuma, and Kurenai versus Itachi and Zabuza. No, Itachi and Kisame.
Kisame.
Because that was the
Hmm.
first time that I really saw like the Akatsuki. And when the Akatsuki, Itachi and Kisame first showed up, and they're like, because when they first showed up, I'm like, oh, they're after Sasuke. They're not really, but then they wasn't really after Sasuke. They were after Naruto. So I'm like, why are they really after Naruto? And it's revealed that it's the Fox. But just seeing Sasuke, did we know that it was Sasuke's brother in the beginning, or did we not? I don't think.
Yeah, yeah, we
No,
did.
we found out later. I think we found out later. But I think there were hints that they were like related. But I just love how that fight though, because like Itachi was just such a freaking badass. Like Kakashi's a badass. He's really smart. He's really awesome. But then Itachi, he just seemed to be on a completely different level on
Yeah.
Kisame. Kurenai, Genjutsu is her specialty. But Itachi made it look like a fucking academy students. Like she was nothing compared to Itachi. So just the badasses of Itachi, the water style shadow clone explosion, just those
Yeah,
attacks
that
that
was the
Itachi was
first time
using.
we got to see some Mangukyo abilities. I remember
Manga
he put
Kyo Sharingan,
Kakashi
right?
in a fucking he put Kakashi in a fucking torture room for
Uh,
3 days.
you're like
Just that
3 days,
guy.
72 hours, right? And in the real time, it's like 2 seconds or so that like really passed. So that was
Yeah,
some really good shit. Let me just 2 seconds. Is there anything else you want to add to your list? I don't know, but was
yeah.
there any
I think
another
those.
fight that I really wanted to add? But you can go ahead. I'm thinking there was one fight. Uh, that's what? Yes. I gotta say Sasuke versus Danzo. Like Sasuke versus Danzo 2 was really close. Like I love that fight.
Hmm.
'Cause this was the fight that really like we were always, I guess, thought to believe that Danzo was like really really the bad guy. But at the
Hmm.
end of this fight, that Danzo, he just wanted to do what was best for the village, or what he thought was best for the village. And all he wanted to do was to prove to Iruzen that he's not really a coward, that he can become Hokage just like he did.
Okay.
When Hiruzen he rose his hand to, volunteer basically to die. And, Danzo was a bit happy that Hiruzen raised his hand. Like, he wanted to, but he was still scared. So Hiruzen was always like a step ahead of him, and he just wanted to be kind of like an equal. And that was just all his motives, that he could be a better Hokage than Hiruzen. That he would, like, get rid of, like, the evilness in the world, just so the Leaf Village could be safe. That was, Danzo, what he really wanted. And just the fight alone, like him using wind style and all these other techniques versus Sasuke, it was some really impressive stuff. I mean, when he had like the 12 Sharingan in his hand, I gotta admit that was really disgusting when he had all them Sharingans. That was pretty just
Hmm.
insane.
That's the
But he
problem.
just right? So he just underestimated Sasuke, just like quite a bit. Underestimated Sasuke. But Sasuke too was like a jackass, like stabbing the girl, through the chest just to get to
Oh
Danzo. He
yeah,
was just fucking power hungry and shit. But I really love that fight though. I mean, we saw some really cool summoning techniques. The wind style. I think the wind style thing. I think that was the first time that we really saw like some good wind style techniques. Naruto's
yeah,
wind,
that's
but he
true.
doesn't really master wind
Use it
like
that much.
yeah. So Danzo, he really does that. So even just him trying to take control of Hashirama's powers, it didn't really go so well. But still, I remember that moment though, because it just showed you how awesome Hashirama really is. But that fight is good. But
Uh,
yes, enough
I
with the
think it's
honor.
time to get to the main event of this
Yes,
podcast.
right.
Our number
If
one fight picks.
if yours is
Uh,
the same as mine, I'll just add in.
okay, my
Okay,
number one is Jiraiya versus Pain. Is that your number one or no?
I'll let you know.
Okay. Anyway, damn, I don't even know where to start with this fight. So many,
So
I don't
so
know,
much awesome shit, right? So much like shit that
so
we've never
much,
seen
but
before.
not just the action, the story behind it. I just
Hmm.
loved the background between Jiraiya and his three students.
Yeah.
Three characters we didn't know nothing about, but they ended up being so important later
Hmm.
on in the series.
Right.
And like Jiraiya having to put down his older students, I just
Right.
felt so sorry for them. Or
Hmm.
sorry for him too. But like the
Yeah.
way the fight turned out, it was just like such a fucking mystery. It was just beautiful. It was a beautiful fight.
It was a beautiful fight. And Jiraiya versus Pain is also my number one because I felt like
Okay.
on the level, just like I was talking about scale earlier with Lee versus Gara. Like when you talk about
Yeah.
scale, it's not that big. But when you're talking about Jiraiya versus Pain, you're talking about a man with the Renegon, a man with six paths. He has six paths of pain. What one of them sees, all other six of them sees.
Hmm.
So just one guy, Jiraiya, only with his sage techniques, going up against six dudes by himself was just straight up badass. Like I always knew Jiraiya must have been strong to be able to, to train the fourth fucking Hokage. Like he trained the fourth Hokage.
Hmm.
That's some awesome shit right there. But I never really knew what Jiraiya could do. Like I knew he could
Oh,
use
and
like
another thing,
the ninja just
remember back in the beginning, when Itachi and Kisame were coming after Naruto and they fought Kakashi and the other Jonin.
hmm
That Itachi and Kisame just barely escaped. I don't remember exactly what they said, but they said something like that. Even if both of us were to go toe to
yeah,
toe with Jiraiya, we would still
true.
lose.
Yeah, you would still
And
lose.
like we never saw Jiraiya fight. Jiraiya's fight versus Orochimaru doesn't count because he was drunk, and Orochimaru Orochimaru didn't have his
You was
arm.
drunk? Oh
But
wow.
like this entire time, we just know the mystery. Jiraiya is
Hmm.
strong as hell, but
He's
we
a
never seen
Sannin,
him
right?
fight.
Hmm.
He's strong as hell, but we've never seen him fight. Just
Hmm.
what are his powers? It's
True.
just this mystery surrounding him. He taught the fourth Hokage, so we
Right.
know he's strong. And
Hmm.
some of the abilities he showed in that fight, all these crazy hair techniques,
Yeah,
um,
needed ninja art, needle jizzle. Yeah, needle jizzle.
doing combos with the with
Jizzle.
the two older toads on
Yeah.
his shoulders was just fucking crazy.
Mama and Puppet Toad.
And
That
like
was pretty crazy.
you also see him use his intellect during the fight. Jiraiya's no idiot. He could think during a
Yeah,
fight. He was putting the pieces together of
right.
Pain's abilities, but it was
Yeah.
just a little bit too late.
Hmm.
Even Pain admitted if Jiraiya knew the secrets to his abilities, he would have beat him. He
I'm
would have
sorry.
beat him if he knew.
Um, I know this is sounding crazy, but his secret was that what was his secret again? Oh yes, his secret was that there's another controlling him, right? Like he isn't really
Hmm.
him. There's a
Yeah,
a
and
guy really
Jiraiya
controlling him.
he
And
sent that message
yes,
to the Leaf Village.
which did he knew it was Nagato, right?
Uh-huh, he
He
knew.
knew it was Nagato. Okay, so
Because
ah
remember, at the end of the fight, he realized all those bodies he's met
mhm,
before, and he knows they're all dead.
yeah. Then he
So he
realized there was
knew.
one missing, pretty much, because they
Hmm.
were always together. Those three were always together. And yeah, when you're talking about this fight, it's not just Jiraiya versus Pain, you also have to have Jiraiya versus Conan. It wasn't just Pain, there was also Conan there versus Jiraiya.
Mhm.
So you have Jiraiya using like oil techniques, toad oil, and then doing like the fireball technique, just trying to light up Conan and their fucking papers and shit. So just the scale of this fight, it was a fucking amazing, and just the build up to it. Like I remember the first time I saw Pain, I see him sitting on top of the tower in the village hidden in the rain, and Pain just looked so fucking badass with those
Oh yeah, and
those
that
eyes.
at that time, we were led to believe Pain was the leader of the Akatsuki. So we're
Hmm.
literally going into this fight thinking
This
Jiraiya is
is the
about to
leader.
fight the strongest man in this universe. He is about to go toe to toe with the strongest man. How the fuck is this gonna go down?
How the fuck is he
It
gonna
the
know?
su-
No,
the
true, right?
suspense was crazy, and it did
Hmm.
not disappoint.
Yeah, because as Jorah is trying to figure out what Pain's can really do, I'm there trying to figure out what the hell can this guy really do too. There's like a lot of stuff, and just the scale of this battle alone, the scale of it, it was huge because Jiraiya, like, he knew nobody would be able to stop Pain unless they found out like his secret, what Pain's secret really was. So when Pain is even summoning when he's doing all these crazy summonings, he's cutting one head off of this dog-looking thing. Another one grows, kind of like the Hydra and shit. Another one
Hmm.
grows, it keeps cutting them off. It's like, holy shit, what can he really do to beat this guy? There were so many good summonings, so many techniques, even people absorbing his attacks. You can't use certain attacks because this Pain would absorb it. If he hits this one Pain, maybe he like wouldn't really shatter because I don't know. I don't really remember all that stuff about like what each of the pains could do. But just like one guy versus the six paths of pain, and pain being the one that with all his six eyes connected, and the eyes being that of the sage of the six paths. And another point that made this site really intriguing was that those were the eyes of the Sage of the Six Paths. You always hear about the legend of the Sage of the Six Paths, like I believe the creator of the world in a way. And this guy Pain has those eyes. So it's like, what else can this guy really do? Like, what is he really capable of? How strong is Jiraiya really? Then he went into Sage mode and he was doing his thing. It's like, this is freaking awesome. Him with his
Hmm.
Sage mode, handing it to the six paths of pain and shit. So this fight was just freaking spectacular, well put together. The animation in this fight was pretty insane. It was really well done.
Yes, it was really well done.
Everything was just really well done. Ah, but
And the ending, though, man, I remember even to the last chapter of Naruto. I was
yeah,
still hoping Jiraiya was alive at the bottom of the lake
I
that
felt
saved them. I felt
yeah,
so sad, yo, because like
true. That's
Jiraiya, like I wouldn't say Jiraiya was my favorite character. 'Cause like I said, we didn't see
but we
him that much
liked him
until
though. We
that point.
liked him.
Yeah, we
We
liked him.
liked his perverness.
We liked his personality. His father figure in Naruto, and
Hmm.
then we see more of his dark past with
Hmm.
these three
Right.
orphans that he took care of, and like we just made this bond with Jiraiya.
Right.
And like the entire fight, I'm at the edge of my seat. Like, oh my God, Jiraiya, no!
Mm-hmm.
And then just to see him go down like that, it's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
I mean, when Naruto was crying, I felt like crying too, cause he felt it, like somebody passed away and you feel it, like he felt it. He knew something was wrong, and then when he received the news, he was so freaking pissed, and I was pissed too, like, cause I don't know, there was a part of me like, there's no way Jiraiya is dead. When Pain did the reanimation technique, when he brought back all the people that he killed, it was Ren Tensei Jutsu, whatever it was, brought back all the people that died. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna bring back Jiraiya, but they're like, no, they're not gonna be able to bring back Jiraiya because they were only able to bring back people that he killed before he came to the village. So it was like Jiraiya is still dead. My God, I really thought we were gonna see him as maybe a reanimation from in the world, the Ninja War, but I'm glad that they didn't because Jiraiya, what he did was really big. Going up against Pain, getting the secret. The ultimate secret that they needed to defeat Pain, that was big enough. So I'm glad that they didn't see him. I'm glad that they weren't evil enough to bring back Jiraiya, so that I don't know, Naruto would possibly have to go up against Jiraiya. I know that would be intriguing. That would have been like really intriguing to see master versus student, but we see that a lot. I mean, I didn't really want to see with Jiraiya, so I'm glad they didn't really bring him back. But I thought his death was pretty was one of the if not the most. I was saying Guy saving Lee earlier, and that is still the most emotional moment in Naruto
Yeah,
for me,
but
Guy
it's up
saving
there.
Lee. But this one with Jiraiya, his
It's
death and
up
shit,
there.
just like the aftermath and everything, it's really up
Hmm.
there with that one. So awesome fight. Number one fight in Naruto ever. Well, the entire series. I mean, we haven't seen Naruto versus Sasuke in the anime. I mean, in the anime yet, but still, we already know what's gonna happen, really. But based
Yeah.
on scale, animation, story, intrigue, mystery, suspense, whatever you, all of that, Jiraiya versus Pain is the ultimate Naruto fight. No one can top. No other fight in Naruto can top it. That's the way I see it.
All right. So that about wraps it up.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video was a bit long, but we had to get our points across. But if you like what I do here, want to see more, click that subscribe button and join the Ascension. I'm the icon, and that's the boss right there. You're the boss, right?
Yep.
Here's the boss. Again, if you like what I do here, want to see more, click that subscribe button and join the Ascension. I'm the icon. Later.